What's up, you guys? I hope you're doing very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. I was doing a little bit of weeding. This is one of my little Italian stone pines that I'm growing as bonsai, and you can see that it's growing in a colander. And I thought maybe I shoot a little video. I haven't been uploading as often as I was doing it before because, mainly two reasons. It's been super hot over here. I think we've been in the hundreds Fahrenheit. Um, so yeah, it's very difficult for me to record a video early in the morning and sometimes late in the afternoon. I get a, very little sunlight left, so I don't record anything. But I continue to work on my trees, and as soon as the weather gets better, maybe when we get the rains, yeah, you'll see me upload more videos. So I was doing a little bit of weeding, and I thought since I've got these two little projects that you've seen in the channel before, that I give you a little update. As you can see, this is one of my little pomegranate trees. And over here we got the other one. So we're going to take a look at them. I thought it would be a good idea to talk a little bit about sacrificial branches or sacrifice branches. These are the weeds. Sorry. Um, and so you can see that this one uh, looks really nicely. In the future, I intend to just do a little bit of clip and grow and just develop it naturally. This is a little tree that I think I'm actually going to shoot a little short video just because it's so good for beginners, like me, because it's a tree that it's very hardy and tolerant to the heat. Also, you can ramify it very well. And I noticed that for people who are just beginning in bonsai, one of the things that happens quite often is that we want to, you know, do things on our tree, right? We want to do the wiring and do the clipping and do the trimming and the pruning, whatever. Sometimes for other tree species that could be too much, but for this one and for ficuses and other species that maybe you see me work in the channel, this is, not only tolerable but sometimes even necessary. They grow so fast, they're so vigorous. Another thing is that they root like nothing. You just take a cutting, put it in the ground, and you got another one. So yeah, I think I'm going to record a short talking about that. So anyway, I thought we use this opportunity to talk about sacrifice branches because you can see over here. Originally, we had one over here. You see it? But then I thought, if I let this grow more than this in the future, we're going to have a big scar that is going to take years and years to cover, in this case, the tree does all of the covering. But that tends to be less and less noticeable and less, um, we could say, less of a problem really when it comes to aesthetics. If the scar it's right here on the bottom, right? So that's why I decided to relocate this sacrifice branch to a lower branch here. We can see it here. It's growing unchecked, and we got another one over here. That's possible too. You could leave two. This one actually started growing after we selected this one as the main sacrifice branch, and it's even lower, further down the trunk. You know, so this is also beneficial. This is also good for the thickening process that we want. I also did a little bit of wiring here and there so that we place some branches. Uh, some branches are not overshadowed by others. So I think this little guy looks good. I think it's about a year and a half old now. So I really like it. Maybe in the future, I'm gonna put it in a colander or a bigger pot. But at the moment, I really like the way it looks. And another one over here. This one is a little bit older, I think, and it's been growing in a bigger container. We're also going to be talking about sacrifice branches on this one because look, same as with the previous one. Maybe just take a good look at it before we start talking about it. You can see that the trunk has developed nicely, and this sacrifice branch it's longer, bigger, you know. Uh, but what happens when we have several branches growing from the same spot is that we could have uh, thickening of that branch so severe, sorry, that we could start slowly but surely to develop inverse taper. Yeah, we want the shape of our bonsai tree to be like an inverted cone, and in this case, it would be like a like a regular cone, like wider base and then a little point at the end. So over here we can see that we've got some of that already. So I don't think that's going to be a good idea. In the previous example, we said that we could use sacrifice branches right at the base. It's going to look aesthetically, even if we got some scarring there, because in nature, uh, the area of the tree that's more affected by animals or by humans or by whatever, even fires or whatever, it's the base, right? So over here, we don't have one directly at the base, and we also have this thickening. So this sacrifice branch is no problem, but this one is, right? So another area of the tree where you can very well use a sacrifice branch is the top. Yeah. So what we're going to do today is do a little bit of pruning to those sacrifice branches, relocate them, or re oh, designate them. And like I said, we can root this absolutely no problem to an upper sacrifice branch. I think it's going to be this one right here. So what I'm doing is I'm just removing little knobs that we have here. But this is going to be our new sacrifice branch. And the same as with the previous one. All we got to do is just let it grow. Yeah. So what I'm doing is removing the little nuts, and I'm also gonna take the leaves out so that I can continue to elongate, and that's gonna define it as a new sacrifice branch. Yeah. Another thing that I like to do, like I was saying, it's in order to ramify, just clip the tips. Once they're mature enough, we get that ramification that we want, right? So yeah, it doesn't look like much now, but in a couple of months, by the way, I'm going to completely remove this in the future. Yeah, so that we don't get more shoots coming out of there. So yeah, it doesn't look like much at the moment, but in a couple of months, we will see that clearly defined new sacrifice branch, and it's going to be beneficial for the tree. We would get like a more uniform widening of the base, more uniform thickening instead of inverse taper that could be formed if we got two or more branches coming out of one place or one spot in the tree. So anyway, I wanted to show you these two, and I thought, to give you an example of a sacrifice branch that emerges from the top of the tree. We've got this example of a sacrifice branch emerging from the base, top of the tree. Well, we got this little Japanese black pine. You can see that the top of the tree, it's that sacrifice branch, right? So yeah, just another example over here with other project that we've seen. Same thing. We had an upper sacrifice branch that we removed months ago, and that left that huge scar over there. At the moment, I think this is the last project that we worked on, and we can see that it's growing nicely. I said that I was going to leave thin branches to grow so that we got the right girth, but it's already looking really cool. People are starting to ask questions. Even people that don't necessarily love plants go like, hey, that's an interesting looking plant. because they see that it's starting to look more and more like a bonsai tree. And finally, over here we got this tropical tree. I really like this tree, the shape of the leaf. These are all new leaves, by the way, hence the color. I took some cuttings of this. This is a type of tree that's called rayan, where I live. It's not the typical arrayan if you're from Mexico, from the south. This is actually a fruit bearing tree. The fruit is, if you've ever tried guava in the United States or guayaba in Mexico, this arrayan produces a tiny, round, yellow, little berry like fruit that tastes like a guava, but even more acidic, even a bit more tart, and it's delicious. It's really really good. I could eat a ton of them because they're very sweet, but also very very tart. So it's a very very nice flavor. So what I'm going to do with this, I tried air layering it. I think last year, but it didn't work. So I had to remove that entire section because it was dying. So I'm going to try it again, and this is going to be like the base here to give it a little bit of movement like this. This is going to be the tree. So you'll see me do that in upcoming videos. And like I said, that all depends on the weather. Yeah, because now I'm going to be a little bit less busy from work. So yeah, the weather, it's the defining factor. But anyway, really, really, thank you so much. If you like the videos, if you watch them, thank you so much for the support to this and my other channel, Fishables and Musgo. Yeah, and I hope I can upload more, and you continue to support the channel, and that you like the videos, right? So if you got any comments, doubts, questions, anything, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.